I was tagged in a video from this lawyer on TikTok, and he is talking about the lawsuit that Harvard is facing regarding legacy and donor students. So I'm going to play his two videos, and then I'm going to show an article that I found. So I'm coming in on the back end, but I am diving a little bit deeper into what is being alleged. So go ahead and watch both of these videos, or all three of these videos. Thanks.
Huge breaking news on the heels of the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action. Civil rights groups are now going after legacy admissions. A Boston-based nonprofit, Lawyers for Civil Rights, has filed a complaint with the Department of Education's Civil Rights Office, saying that the Harvard legacy admissions practices and donor admissions practices violate federal law by giving advantages to white students over other students. The complaint was filed on behalf of several Latinx and Black groups in New England. And here's just a little context for those who haven't been following this closely. Applicants tied to donors were 7 times more likely than other applicants to get into Harvard from the period of 2014 to 2019. And legacy applicants were 6 times as likely to get in as other applicants. The complaint even cites a line from the recent Supreme Court case against affirmative action to make this argument. In that case, the conservative majority wrote, "A benefit provided to some applicants but not to others necessarily advantages the former group at the expense of the latter." Comment below and let me know what you think of this move, and make sure to follow along for updates. Hey guys, Kai Von Troff, political commentator and attorney here, and I just want to explain something here. So this is a comment on my original video about the complaint against Harvard's practice of using legacy and donor admissions. Go watch that for the backstory. But this is not the type of complaint, the complaint filed, that you see as part of a lawsuit. This is a complaint with the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights. The complaint generally goes through the following process. First, you have a complaint, right? And that's an individual saying that there's been discrimination on the basis of race, sex, or some other protected group. Then the Office of Civil Rights looks into the complaint and determines whether it has jurisdiction and whether an investigation is warranted. At that point, the complainant may be asked for additional information. Then, if the complaint is accepted, both the institution and the complainant will be notified. Then there can be an investigation and ultimately findings. If the findings show a violation of federal law, they can work with the institution to resolve the violation. Typically, this comes in the form of a resolution agreement, and then the Office of Civil Rights will monitor compliance with whatever the resolution was.
I, for one, am shocked. Shocked, I say. Oh my gosh, this lawsuit. Lawsuit alleges Harvard gives preferential treatment to legacy admissions who are overwhelmingly white. This is crazy, and I do not believe it for 1 second, not 1 second, that Harvard is out here using legacies and money for white people to get in. I just can't believe it. Let's see what this lawsuit says, because I'm sure it's absolutely preposterous. The minority advocacy groups are suing Harvard University's governing body, accusing the school of discrimination by giving preferential treatment to children of wealthy donors and alumni. I am appalled that they would say this, and are citing the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that gutted affirmative action. You know, only the coloreds are using affirmative action. There's no affirmative action for wealthy white people, so stop lying. It says the lawsuit filed by the Lawyers for Civil Rights group on behalf of the Chica Project, the African Community Economic Development of New England, and the Greater Boston Latino Network alleges that students who receive preferential treatment are overwhelmingly white. Yes, y'all are going to have to prove it. What are the numbers? According to the plaintiffs, Black, Latinx, and Asian American applicants are all dramatically underrepresented among those who receive donor or legacy preferences. According to Harvard College statistics, for the class of 2027, African American and Black students made up 15.3% of accepted undergrads. Asian Americans made up 30%. Latinx students made up 11%. Native American and Native Hawaiian students made up 2.7% of accepted undergraduates. The rest, roughly 40.8% of accepted undergraduates, are presumed to be white. In a news release announcing the admission statistics, Harvard said the class of 2027 reflects the increasing diversity of college applicants. In their lawsuit, the plaintiffs have called on the U.S. Department of Education to, among other things, investigate Harvard's use of donor and legacy preferences and the resulting unjustified disparate impact, and ensure that moving forward, applicants have no way to identify a familial relationship in the admissions process. Jesus. So if these people would have just sat there and ate their lunch, they wouldn't be going through this. Well, they could have been. You never. Why are we rewarding children for the privileges and advantages accrued by prior generations? I mean, that is a question that could literally be asked of most of these companies that keep nepotism going and keep money that is still going from a legacy of racism and sexism and slavery in this country. So that is a question that we should be tackling daily for these companies. So you guys jump in the comments, tell me what you think. Like